Alright, so y'all can go back and look at this video later or whatever. I think when we are talking about the fact that a lot of unnecessary black people are dying, when we talk about this thing, a lot of unnecessary black deaths are being caused by the crooked police, the police who don't care, the police who could care less. That is a rough thing to deal with when you look at TV, when you turn the TV on, or you put on Facebook, or you put on any type of social media, you steady hearing about another black person that is being shot. And so the running thing used to be back in the day, that these are the thugs and the hoodlums and, the black men with the pants down to the back of the knees and all of this stuff. And so that was the big thing, that we all were considered to be hoodlums. So then now the game has changed, things have changed, and there are police who will get the address wrong. How do you get a wrong address? Well, I mean, I work in emergency medical services, so we can get the wrong address, or non-emergency, whatever you want to call it. But either way, we can get the wrong address. So I understand how you can get the wrong address. But my problem is, how do you get the wrong address and kill somebody? That is wrong. How does a person begging for air to breathe, begging for water, saying, hey, I can't breathe, how do you kill this person when this person is causing you absolutely no bodily harm? He's causing you no reason to use this excessive force. That's a crazy thing that I do not understand that is going on in America right now. But we have to understand this one thing. Hold on. We have to understand this one thing in America, and not just in America, just period. As a Christian, and I'm speaking as a Christian because before being black, before being anything, I am a Christian. My Christianity goes on top of everything. My Christianity, goes on top of everything. So when we look at the situations that are going on, I'm looking at these same situations, but I'm looking at them with the spiritual eye. The Bible says that we wrestle not. We wrestle not. We wrestle not. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in the high places, against principalities, against darkness. All of these things we are wrestling against, but it is not against black and white. And because many people are full of their flesh, many people are full of the carnal mind, many people are full of the things that are in the flesh, you don't see in the spirit. How can you ever open your mouth and say that you speak for God when you are out of the spirit? If you speak for God, then you should not see things with the natural eye. You should see things in the spirit, that it is not a black and white thing. Even though we see black and white in the natural, we know that it is a spiritual thing. My daddy always used to say, don't see the person, look at the devil who's behind the person pushing them. There is a spiritual wickedness in America right now that is creating the culture and the race war type thing. That deal is coming from a spirit. Racism comes from a spirit of evil, a spirit of hatred. These things are deep-seated. These things are not just as you see them. There is more to it than meets the eye. Yes, there is a white cop killing a black person, but that what goes under that is that there's an evil spirit behind that, a spirit of wickedness, a spirit of discord, a spirit of contention, and you're not seeing that. All you see is, I want to fight, I want to fight, I want to fight. So when they kill your stupid tail, then what? What did your fight do? Did somebody else want to fight and they kill? It does not make sense. You have to learn how to fight the battle in a different way. Why do we remember Martin Luther King? We remember Martin Luther King because he fought in a different way. Yes, he got beat up. Yes, he got dogs sicked on him. Yes, they got sprayed with water hoses. Yes, he was jailed wrongfully. But what did Martin Luther King do that we remember him instead of Malcolm X? What did Martin Luther King do that we remember what he did rather than these other people? Because Martin Luther King fought with the power of Christ. He fought with a difference. He did not fight fire with fire. He didn't go blow for blow with these people. You have to use your mind and you have to fight in the spirit. Use your voice like I'm using my voice now, saying, hey, wake up. Wake up. It is not about what you see. It's not all about, let me rephrase that. It's not all about what you see on the surface. It's not all about what you see in front of your face. There is a bigger thing behind that. Sin causes all of these things. And people don't want to hear about sin, but your sin causes all of these things. My sin causes all of these things. Our sin causes all of these things. So then we see white against black, black against white. We see everybody against the Mexicans and Mexicans against this. We see all of these things because there's so much sin going on. There's so much sin. There are evil spirits. We're carrying spirits of hatred. We're carrying spirits of bitterness. We still carry the bitterness from the things that happened to our ancestors. No matter how nice or how loving some white person may be to you, you still remember what they did to your ancestors 400 plus years ago. You still haven't given it up. You're still fighting. And though I'm not telling anyone to forget these things. I'm not telling you to act like these things never happened. But I'm saying just like you don't want to be labeled a thug or a hoodlum because there are many black people who are thugs and hoodlums, but because you don't want to be named a thug and a hoodlum because they are, because you want to be given a fair chance. Why don't we give the white people a fair chance? Why is there not fairness on every side? You want to be treated equally. You want rights. You want all of these things, but then do you turn around and give that same love and that same expression of freedom to someone else? And I'm not speaking up for anyone. I'm not speaking up for anyone who is racist or I'm talking about there are good people who are police. There are good people who are white. There are good people who are black. There are good people. Do you treat everyone the same? If you treat everyone the same, then you're no better than anybody else. What's the difference? If you want to fight every white cop because there was a white cop or two or three or four or five that was disrespectful and mean to you, that treated you bad. If you treat every cop the same, then you're no better than the cops who treated you bad. And that's period. I don't care who like it, who don't. That's the truth. I'm a black man living in America. I am afraid of many of the police. I am. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that I'm not. But I know the few police that I do know are good people. So then if I treat them the same way I would treat a police that would racially profile me and treat me despicably, I'm no better than them because I'm police profiling. I'm white people profiling. Racism, whether it's white to black or black to white, ain't no different. Somebody's got to stand up and say, hey, be the difference. If you want to see the difference, you change yourself. You be the difference. You change things. You change. But if somebody come and set a fire in front of your house, you can go back and set a fire in front of their house and everybody setting the fire. Who's winning? Who's winning? The Bible says that our weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Spirit, through the pulling down of strongholds. If we love God, if we follow his word, if we fight in the Spirit, we could pull the strongholds down. But you don't want to fight in the Spirit. You want to fight in the flesh. So then what flesh reaps is corruption. So then your hate is going to breed more hatred, and it's going to be a continuous circle of hatred because you didn't do it God's way. If you came up here to hear anything different from me than me to speak the Christian God-given truth, then you might as well cut me off, and you can say whatever you're going to say in the comments or say whatever you're going to say to me. But I'm going to speak up for Jesus, and that is the only person I speak up for. That is the only plight that I carry. I follow Jesus, and I speak the words that he would speak. I say what his word says, and his word says that we don't fight fire with fire. We do not fight fire with fire. I don't know how many other ways to say you do not fight fire with fire. You don't. So then I'll end this as Martin Luther King said. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Be the difference. That's it.